AI is moving faster than anything we've ever seen. Millions of jobs are being cut, new grads can't find work, and older workers are being pushed out. The economy feels brutal. Well, it is brutal. Wages aren't keeping up, and retraining sounds expensive or impossible. So, what do? Well, there are programs out there, real ones from places like Harvard, Google, and IBM that are completely free. No tuition, no hidden fees, no age limits. These programs will give you the opportunity to not be left behind. And speaking of this, welcome to the podcast. And this episode is so important because not only are we going to talk about something that's shaking the ground beneath all of us, AI, but I'm going to give you 10 free AI programs. All right, so let's just dive straight in because I know if you're listening to this, you want solutions. The first program is out of the University of Maryland's Artificial Intelligence and Career Empowerment, and you can get a certificate. That's what it's called. This is a self-paced, completely free online program from the Robert H. Smith School of Business at UMD. It launched in May of 2025 with a goal to support professionals, including all kinds of workers transitioning from all kinds of different roles. Now, this one is especially powerful for mid-career professionals and older learners. Why? Because it's not just teaching you how AI works in theory, it's showing you how to apply AI to your career today. So think of it as a bridge. You're bringing your existing skills, your years of experience, and this program, the certificate program, is showing you how AI can enhance what you already know, what you already do. For example, let's say that you're working in healthcare administration. You've been doing this for 20 years. You're not about to become a machine learning engineer. But this course can show you how AI is transforming patient data management, scheduling, and even insurance claims. It's not about starting over. It's about staying relevant. So it isn't just theory. You're guided by 10 modules that are taught by full-time faculty, and they feature real insights from industry leaders. So here's a little bit of a breakdown. Module 1 will lay the foundation for you, what AI is and how businesses are using it today. And then you get into real world slices, AI in marketing, organizational management, supply chain, financial services, etc. And the list goes on. And it takes a deep dive also into ethics and responsible AI. I think the coolest thing about this for me is that the last 3 modules in this certificate program deal with job search in the age of AI, negotiating from a weaker position, say you're an older worker, for example. And even and this would apply to people straight out of grad school, by the way, or you don't even have to go to grad school, straight out of college, for example, and even how to launch your own consulting business. They're all career survival tools that you need. So it's not just tech tutorials that you're getting here. This certificate is tailor-made for mid-career and older professional. It's acknowledging your experience and it's saying, here's how AI can augment what you already bring to the table if you want to sum it up. And I'm not saying that you can't take it if you're not mid-career or older. You definitely can, and it will definitely be beneficial for you. And it's not written for coders either, by the way. It's about applying AI ideas to your real career right now. So it doesn't matter. You can be in marketing, finance, healthcare, operations. There's just something practical here for everyone. So in other words, you don't need to be a computer scientist to follow along. It's designed for accessibility in mind, clear, practical, and focused on real world uses. Now, let me pause here and highlight something important. And this is the number one fear I hear from older workers or people that are transitioning or looking to learn more about AI. You often hear them say, I'm too old to learn this stuff. And the truth, you're not. What I hear when you say that is fear talking. Programs like this one are proof. Universities know that the workforce is aging. They do know that. They know people in their 40s, 50s, and even 60s and beyond still want to and need to adapt. That's why this certificate exists. Yes, you need to adapt because should I mention again how they keep pushing up the retirement age? Now, if you need further proof, though, almost 25,000 people have already enrolled as of August 2025. And that's proof that people are hungry for this kind of knowledge, especially those facing layoffs or stalled careers. And then let me add this. UMD is not a fly-by-night school. It's a public IVR1 research powerhouse. It pumps over $1 billion into research every year. The Smith Business School, which it is under, is consistently ranked, respected, and deeply tied to business leaders. So this is not some random badge. This is why all this matters. It's a credential that holds weight. And employees will notice that having a recognized certificate from the University of Maryland on your resume is going to tell the hiring manager, I'm not just coasting along, I'm keeping up. And in today's market, that signal is priceless. So if you're listening to this right now thinking, I can't afford to go back to school, or I don't have time for another degree, this is your reminder. You don't need thousands of dollars or years of study to get started. You just need the right program. And the University of Maryland's free, let me stop and say that again. Free AI and career empowerment certificate is a fantastic first step because this course is structured, self-paced. So going back to that, I don't have time. It's self-paced. So there's videos, you've got expert talks, career-focused strategies. And so it means you're not learning to build these AI systems from scratch. You're learning how those systems change the game and how to stay in the game. Before we move into the second program, I'm going to be totally transparent here. I used to believe that AI was for techies. Wrong. It's rewriting the rules of every single job market. Teachers are using AI to grade papers. Marketers are using it to generate campaigns. Customer service reps are being replaced by chatbots. Even industries like law, healthcare, and finance, the so-called safe jobs, are seeing AI reshape how work gets done. And unfortunately, in some cases, they're being replaced. And what that means for you and me is this. Whether you're just graduating, mid-career, or even nearing retirement, the skills that kept you employed yesterday may not keep you employed tomorrow. That's the uncomfortable reality. Now, if the University of Maryland certificate felt like it was geared toward mid-career or older professionals, our second program may sound better to you because this program emphasizes it's available. It may be best for students, career changers, or anyone just dipping their toes into AI. And it's called IBM SkillsBuild. And it's not just a single course, it's an entire free learning platform. IBM created this program to make tech and IA skills accessible, no matter where you are in your learning journey. And they've kept it simple. No tuition, no deadlines, no background in computer science required. Again, free. And here's what's inside. You get over 1,000 free courses on topics like AI fundamentals, generative AI, chatbots, cybersecurity, data science, and cloud computing. The ability to earn digital badges and certificates directly from IBM, which are recognized, by the way, by employers worldwide. So it's not just for show. Companies know IBM's name, the certificate carries weight. Hands-on projects where you build something real. So that's what's included in this. You're not just watching videos passively. One of the things I love about SkillsBuild is how it's designed for flexibility, and that's important, especially if you're an adult learner. You could be also, though, a high school student trying to get ahead. You could also be a college grad who can't find a job. And also, a 40-year-old blue collar worker trying to pivot careers. And so there's a path here for everyone. And here's the big stat. IBM reports that as of 2024, more than 7 million learners across 160 countries have used SkillsBuild. Think about that. Millions of people worldwide are stacking IBM digital credentials onto their resumes, and you can too without paying 1 cent. Now let's talk about the pain point. A lot of people worry that free means low quality. Anytime anyone sees anything free, they're thinking it must not be worth anything, low quality. But IBM isn't doing this as a charity. They're doing it because companies, lots of companies, maybe even your company, if you're listening to this and you're doing something like this, are desperate for workers who can apply AI tools, not just talk about them. So when you put that IBM badge, say on LinkedIn, or you've uploaded your resume, it signals to headhunters, to recruiters, I'm not waiting to get left behind. And if you're listening right now and thinking, I don't have time for a long program. I'm trying to make it out here. Have you seen it? It's rough. Well, SkillsBuild gets that because the modules are short, some as little as 2 to 3 hours. So you can literally fit learning in during your evenings or weekends without overhauling your entire life. And there are people out there who use SkillsBuild as a stepping stone. So they'll start, say, with IBM's AI fundamentals. They'll get a badge, they'll put it on their resume, and suddenly employers are noticing them. For younger learners, maybe I can see this as like getting a head start. For older learners, it's proof that you're keeping pace. So whether you're 18, 58, 68, etc., SkillsBuild is one of those I believe, one of the lowest barrier, highest recognized programs out there. Now, before we move to the next program, let me just stop for a second because I want to ground all of this in what's really happening out there on the job market. Here's the reality. In just the first half of 2025, this year, over 806,000 layoffs have been announced in the US, and more than 10,000 plus of those were tied directly to AI. Whole teams, customer service, content, even junior data analysts are being replaced or downsized because AI can do the job faster and cheaper. For recent college grads, so if you're thinking, well, this is just applying to older generation, mid-career, etc., let me give you a sobering stat for recent college grads. The situation isn't much better. The unemployment rate for 22 to 27-year-olds with a bachelor's degree is hovering about 5.8%. That's the highest it's been since 2021, while the national average is about 4.2%. That means graduates are struggling more than the general workforce. And these percentages probably have changed since the recording of this podcast. And if you're mid-career or older, you already know what it feels like. Layoffs hit harder because companies often see older workers as more expensive. It's not fair, but it's happening. That's why these programs matter, because one push back, this is one way in which we can push back against this wave to hopefully prove that we're not stuck in yesterday's skills. And the beauty is you don't have to pay tens of thousands of dollars to do it. And a lot of them are flexible, so you can fit it into your lifestyle. The programs are lifelines, the way I see it, and the smartest people I know are grabbing them right now, not later. Okay, well, let's talk about a program that's become almost legendary then in the AI space. Elements of AI, and it's created by the University of Helsinki in Finland in partnership with MetaLearn. Now, here's why it's so powerful. It was built to make AI accessible to everyone, not just computer scientists. I think you might be seeing a theme here. So it's not just about 20-year-old tech majors, but people of all ages, careers, and backgrounds. And it's free, available online, and yes, it's open to learners in the US. The course itself is split into two parts. So you'll have the first part being the intro to AI, the fundamentals. So you're going to learn what AI is, what it can do, what it can't do, how it's shaping industries, and all the ethical questions surrounding it. The second part is called Building AI. It's a little more advanced, where you get your hands on with how, hands-on learning, so to speak, with how machine learning works, how data teaches algorithms, and how AI models make decisions. Now, here's the stat that always gets me. Over 1 million people in 170 countries have already taken this course. That's not hype. That's real. So that's a movement. Finland even set a goal to make every single citizen AI literate. And the course they're using, the one I just mentioned, is their tool. But let me ground this with a little bit of a story. There was a woman in her mid-50s from Ohio. Let's just call her Janet. She shared that she took elements of AI during, you remember when we were all locked down, during that time, after being laid off from her administrative job, because there was a lot of layoffs during that time as well. She wasn't techie at all. And she said that she barely knew how to reset her Wi-Fi router. And now she was learning about algorithms, but she stuck with it. She said the course's clear language and practical examples helped her finally understand what AI was, not the scary sci-fi robot version, but the real tools behind job screening software, chatbots, and even the apps that she was already using every single day. She just didn't realize she was using AI. Same thing with every one of us. Every time you pick up your cell phone, you're using AI. But when she finished, she added the certificate to her resume, posted it into LinkedIn. Guess what? Within a month, she was in interviews. Not because she became an AI engineer, but because employers saw someone who was willing to learn new skills at 55. And so she said the course gave her confidence, and it gave employers confidence in her. That's the beauty of elements of AI, and really all of these courses I'm introducing you to. It's not about turning you into a programmer overnight. I don't want you to be confused about that. It's about giving you AI literacy, the language, the concepts, the ability to sit in a meeting and say, I get what's happening here. And in today's world, that confidence matters. Employers don't just want skills, they want proof you're adaptable. And a certificate from a world-renowned university completed by over 1 million learners sends that signal, exactly that signal. So if you've been thinking, I'm too old to learn this, or I don't even know where to start, Elements of AI is literally built for you. It's the first step on the AI ladder, and it's one you can take today from anywhere, including right here in the US. Now, before I get into the Harvard program, let's pause for a second, because here's the truth a lot of people don't want to admit. Education has got brutally expensive. The average cost of a 4-year degree in the US is now around $27,000 a year for public college, but that depends on which one, and $55,000 for private university. That's just an estimate, and that is lowballing the estimate. That means a bachelor's degree, taking that estimate, can run you anywhere from $100,000 to $220,000 before interest. You want me to say that again? A bachelor's degree can run you anywhere from $100,000 to $220,000 before interest. And if you've taken out loans, you already know the crushing weight of student debt. But there's more. Even after all of that, many recent graduates, they can't land jobs. Remember unemployment for 20 to 27-year-old college grads, and where it's sitting near the 5.8%, higher than the national average? They paid the money, they did the work, and they're still locked out of the job market. And what about mid-career or older workers? Retraining usually comes with a price tag. Even short certificate programs can cost $2,000, $5,000, even $15,000 and on up. For someone already living paycheck to paycheck, that's impossible. That's why these free AI programs matter. That's why I'm bringing them to you so that you can have that knowledge. They cut through the financial barrier that keeps so many people stuck. So you don't have to go into a $50,000 debt 10, 15, 20. It keeps going to prove that you can keep up. You don't have to wonder if you're too old to learn something new or if it will fit into your lifestyle. The tools that I'm giving you are free and they're available right now. All right, let's talk about one of the most prestigious names out there, Harvard. So through HarvardX, their online learning initiative, you can access several AI-related courses for free if you audit them. That means that you don't pay tuition and you still get access to all the learning materials. Here are a few highlights from a couple of the courses that are available to audit. We'll start with CSC50's Introduction to Artificial Intelligence with Python. I started with this one because this is the big one. It teaches you the nuts and bolts of AI and machine learning, including neural networks, search algorithms, optimization, and natural language processing. And then there's data science machine learning, a deep dive into how machines learn from data. Perfect for people who want a strong technical foundation. And then there's the Tiny ML, Tiny Machine Learning. That's a collaboration that they're actually doing with Google, teaching how to run machine learning models on small, lower power devices, such as your smartphone and any type of wearable or anything like that. Now, I'm going to be real with you. Harvard's courses are more challenging than the last two programs that we talked about. They involve coding, specifically Python. So if you're a beginner, it may feel intimidating, but there is a flip side to that. Because these are real Harvard courses, if you complete them, it shows real serious commitment and skill. And here's the opportunity. If you do want a verified certificate, you can pay a small fee to get it. So they will let you audit. You do get the skills. If you want a verified certificate, you do have to pay a small fee here. But if you're just there to learn, you can certainly take it entirely free. You can still put it on your resume. You can still do that without having to pay that fee. That's why I included it here. But imagine putting completed HarvardX Introduction to AI on your resume, posting it up on LinkedIn. That's the kind of signal that turns heads. And yes, people from all over the world are using these courses to land internships, jobs, or to pivot their careers into some sort of data science, specifically AI. So if you're younger, so we'll include you and you want to stand out in a competitive job market, or if you're mid-career, as I mentioned, and you want to pivot and you're ready to challenge yourself with something rigorous, I think this is a free ticket to a seat at the table. Let's do a quick pause here, because if you're finding this helpful, do me a favor, hit that like button, share it with a friend who you know is worried about their job security, and leave me a feedback comment. Tell me which of these programs you're most likely to try. Because when you do this, that simple action not only helps this episode reach more people who need help, it tells the algorithm that this conversation matters. And honestly, we need more people to know they don't have to be left behind in this new AI economy. So if you're a coworker, a family member, or even if you know someone, a teenager in your life who's wondering how are they going to be competitive when they're finished with school, send them this episode. The more we share this knowledge, the more people we can pull forward with the rest of the changing demographic around us. Okay, let's shift gears to something lighter, more flexible, but still just as powerful. Great Learning's free IA course. Now, Great Learning is an ed tech company that's partnered with Stanford, MIT, and a few other universities to create online learning content. What's great about them, no pun intended, great learning. What's great about them? Yeah. Okay. Tough crowd. Anyway, what's great about them is that they've built an entire library of free AI and machine learning courses that you can take at your own pace. So here's what you're going to find. AI for beginners. This is a short, clear courses that explain concepts like neural networks, natural language processing, and computer vision in plain English. Applied AI, many projects where you can actually use AI tools to solve problems. And then there's generative AI and prompt engineering. That's the really hot topic right now, by the way. And these courses show you how to work with tools like ChatGPT and apply them in business, writing, or coding. And if you're already working with ChatGPT and you're thinking that you don't need this, you're already working with it, everything's fine, please know that that's a learning language model, and how you prompt it is going to matter. How does it matter? How efficient it's going to be. So it can be much more efficient if you know how to prompt it. Certificates you can download from these programs. Once you're done, you can download them, add them to your LinkedIn profile as soon as you finish. And let me be real about these courses. These courses aren't a 5-year commitment, just so you know. Some are just 90 minutes long. Others maybe 6 to 8 hours. It depends. But this is perfect if you're working full-time, raising kids, or you are mid-career, you're trying to keep up, you're putting in extra hours. Maybe you got laid off, you're working 2 or 3 jobs just to make ends meet, and you just can't commit to a heavy program right now. So let me give you an example of how this may work. I read about a dad in Texas. He was in his mid-40s, working 2 jobs and raising 3 kids. He didn't have time for a full degree program, but he squeezed in a couple of great learning modules late at night. And within weeks, he had 3 new certificates, uploaded those on his LinkedIn file. And what his takeaway from that was, it showed recruiters that he was actively learning even when his schedule was packed. He didn't pivot into a brand new career overnight, but when a promotion came up at work, he got it because he looked like someone who was moving forward, not standing still. And that's the whole point. These courses are stackable confidence builders. They may not carry the same prestige per se because they're certificate, but they carry a lot. I'm telling you, they do. But they may not carry the same as, say, Harvard or Maryland, an actual degree, but they are fast, flexible, and they prove you're learning in real time. And there's also another great part. Over 8 million learners globally have already taken Great Learning's free courses. So that's proof that something's working. So when you add their certificates to your resume, you're joining a massive community of people staying competitive without going broke. And if you're listening to this and you've been telling yourself, I don't have time, even though I'm telling you that you do, your schedule's too crazy, or you'll never keep up. Remember, it's learning at your own pace. And Great Learning could be your answer. Small steps, big proof. Now let's talk about something I don't see enough of. AI courses that are actually specifically designed for older adults. Boise State University has created a program called the Seniors AI Program. And here's why this matters. It's not about turning you into a coder or a data scientist. It's about making sure you don't feel left out of the AI revolution that's happening around all of us. So if you're older and the other programs seem too intimidating, this one is specifically designed for older learners. It's self-paced, completely free. I feel redundant, but I keep saying it. These are all free except for the one. It's free to audit at Harvard, but if you want an actual certificate, remember you have to pay a small price, but that you don't need that. You can just still put it on your resume. But this one, made for seniors, self-paced, completely free. It has accessibility in mind. So instead of diving into algorithms and math right away, so to speak, It focuses on practical ways AI can fit into your everyday life. And honestly, even though it's made for seniors, don't we, everyone wants to know how we can practically put this in our life. But here's what it covers. Chatbots for companionship. So how tools like Chat GPT can help with conversation, creativity, or just answering everyday questions. Another thing it covers is voice assistant. So you learn how to use tools like maybe Alexa or Google Assistant for reminders, shopping lists, health checks, and etc. Also, brain training apps. So how AI powered apps can support memory, focus, and mental sharpness. Online safety may be the most important part, teaching seniors how to recognize scams, misinformation, and stay safe online while using AI tools. So you can see that this is targeting a much older demographic. But what I love about this program is that it recognizes the emotional side of technology. What in the world do I mean by that? Well, for older learners, the fear isn't just, can I do this? It's, will I embarrass myself? Boise State designed this program to take that fear away. The tone is gentle, encouraging, and it meets seniors exactly where they are. So let me share an example for you. I read about a retired teacher who enrolled in the course. She said she used to really feel invisible whenever her grandkids started talking about AI. And after taking the program, she felt confident enough to start using AI to help her with her writing hobby. And suddenly, instead of feeling left behind, she was the one that was showing her grandkids how to use a new tool. But you could certainly take this if you're still in the workforce. That's the shift we're talking about here. It's not about competing with 20-year-olds in Silicon Valley. It's about confidence, inclusion, and independence. And here's the stat I want to share with you that blew me away. Studies show that older adults who engage with tech training, and we're talking even about 70s, 80s on up, are 40% more likely to keep working past retirement age if they want to. I got to put that caveat in there. That's important because we know a lot of them, you don't want to work, you're 70, 80 years old, but this is if they want to. And 50% who want to do that say that they feel more socially connected. Courses like Boise State's aren't just about AI, they're about dignity and staying active and changing in a very changing world. So if you're listening right now, and you're over 50, 60, 70, 80, or you've got parents or grandparents, I would say that this course is designed really for 70, 80 on up, maybe even 60, but you've got parents or grandparents who feel like technology has passed them by. Point them to Boise State's Seniors AI program, because the truth is it's never too late to learn, and it's never too late to stay part of the conversation. Now let's build on that momentum with another program designed specifically for older adults, and it's called AARP Senior Planet AI Workshops. These are free live virtual classes run by what they call Senior Planet. That's a nonprofit under AARP, and they're all about giving older learners the confidence to understand AI without fear or intimidation. So what they do is they cover AI basics. So what is AI? How it's showing up in everyday life, how it actually works. They cover practical demos, so they do real world walkthroughs on things like chatbots, voice assistants, and even how to use AI in simple tasks like creating a shopping list, much like the other one that I just talked about, planning a trip. They also have an open Q&A. And I think with this program, that is, because it's live, I think that's probably the best part. You can literally raise your hand virtually and ask questions in plain, just ask the questions, no jargon, no judgment. Now let's get real for a second. Ageism is real. Ageism is real, And too often, older workers are told directly or indirectly that they're too old to learn or too slow to adapt. That's one of the problems. You mid-career, late 30s now, listen to me. I'm telling you, late 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and up, they're practicing ageism in the workforce. I wish they weren't, but they are. And too often what happens is there's a stereotype that says, well, you're too old to learn and you're too slow to adapt. And in fact, there's been surveys that have shown that 78% of older job seekers, 78%, have either seen or experienced age discrimination in the hiring process. Okay, but here's the thing. When you take something like one of these courses and you start using AI tools with confidence and you understand AI and you have these certificates, you're flipping the script, you're challenging the stereotype, you're giving yourself a little bit of a chance. Suddenly, you're not the one avoiding new tech. You're the one showing your colleagues how to use it. That changes how people see you. It is a mindset shift. Let me give you an example. There was a participant in one of these programs. She was a 62-year-old woman from Florida, and she said she used to sit in meetings quietly when all of a sudden AI came up. After a few of the courses that she took in one of these, she said she felt bold enough to suggest using ChatGPT to streamline a reporting task. And she said the looks on her younger coworkers' faces were priceless. They did not expect her to be the one that was bringing that type of solution. That one suggestion positioned her as an asset, not an older liability. And guess what? She was the point person for it. She was teaching people how to do it. Now, everything I'm talking to you, these workshops, they're free, they're online, and they repeat often. So if you miss a session or you need a refresher, you can just jump back in. So if you're feeling like technology has passed you by, or if you've been made to feel invisible because of your age, you're not too old and it's not too late. In fact, stepping into AI literacy now might be just the thing that keeps you in the game. Before we jump to the next program, let's take a minute and look at what's really happening on the ground. One of the scariest trends in this AI-driven economy is that entry-level jobs are evaporating. Yes, entry-level jobs are evaporating. Look it up, because Anthropic CEO recently warned that AI could replace up to 50% of entry-level white-collar jobs within the next 5 years. Think about that. Half of the starting positions that used to help young people get a foot in the door could be gone. We're already seeing it in publishing and media companies that are cutting junior writers and editors because AI can draft a copy faster. Law firms are hiring fewer junior paralegals because AI tools can scan documents at lightning speed. Customer service jobs are being automated by chatbots and AI call systems. And there is a cruel irony. Young workers are being told to get experience, but the jobs that give experience are disappearing. That's why adding an AI skill set, even if it's just a free certification, is so important. Not just for older learners, okay? It shows employers that you're not just waiting for someone to give you a chance. You're building skills that make you relevant right now. With that in mind, let's look at a program that gives you exactly that kind of resume-ready credibility, because we're going to talk about Google's Cloud's Skill Boost platform. And this one is a real gem because it combines short, practical AI courses with the power of Google's name behind it. So here's what you get. 8 short free AI courses that cover everything from the foundations of large language models to generative AI, responsible AI, image generation, and how to use Google's own Vertex AI Studio. And each course is designed in it's bite size. So some of those courses can take as little as 45 minutes to complete, others a few hours. But that's still not bad. And at the end, you earn Google Cloud Skill badges, digital credentials that you can add directly to your LinkedIn profile, on your resume, etc. Now, what makes this special isn't just the content, it's the reputation. When an employer sees a badge that says Google Cloud Generative AI Fundamentals, they're not going to question what it means. They know its credibility. So it's perfect. This program is perfect for younger learners who want to stand out when applying for internships or jobs, mid-career professionals who want to show they're adapting fast, older learners who just want something short and approachable to get their feet wet. And the numbers don't lie. Thousands of people have already earned these badges, and recruiters on LinkedIn are increasingly filtering for candidates who have them. So think of it this way. If you can set aside even one evening a week, by the end of the month, you could have multiple Google branded AI badges on your profile. That's the kind of signal that tells the employers this person they're not fooling around, okay? They're already running ahead. Now let's talk about one of the most unique opportunities on the entire list. It's called WorldQuant University. This isn't just a short course or certificate. It's actually a full accredited tuition-free degree program. Yep, you heard that right. It is a degree program. Here's what they offer. A master's in financial engineering, so it's completely online, tuition-free, and globally accredited. They also offered the Applied Data Science Lab, a project-based program where you get hands-on experience with AI data analysis and machine learning. Also, the Applied AI Lab, you focus on deep learning for computer vision, letting you actually train AI models on real-world problems. But I want to be clear, I did include it on the list. It is free, but it's not the easiest program. The master's degree especially is demanding. It takes serious commitment and time. But for the right person, it's a once-in-a-lifetime chance to earn a graduate degree without crushing debt. And if you're thinking it's a scam, it is not. It's not a scam or a tiny unknown school. It is a university that is backed by the WorldQuant Foundation, and it is accredited in the United States through Distance Education Accrediting Commission, or the DEAC. More than 10,000 students from over 100 plus different countries are already enrolled. So this is proof it's not just theory, it's a global movement that's happening. And what makes it especially exciting is the community. So you're not just taking classes, you're working alongside people from around the world, collaborating on projects and building a network that stretches far beyond your city or country. That said, who then would this actually be for? Well, if you're an ambitious learner who wants a serious credential, but you don't want to rack up all those students' loans, it's for you. If you're mid-career and you want to pivot into data, finance, or AI-heavy industries, this may be for you. Or if you're someone who's always wanted to go back to school but thought it was financially impossible, this may be for you. So it's basically proving that it's not impossible. It's real, it's free, and it's one of the most empowering programs out there. And now let's close with one of the most ambitious free education projects in the world. Though I would call it semi-free. It's called University of the People, or UO People. Now here is why it's special. It's the first nonprofit accredited tuition-free online university. Now they market it as tuition-free, but stay with me because it does cost a little bit of an assessment fee per course. So it does offer free degrees, associate, bachelor's, and master's without the crushing tuition cost, which is why I included it. But you don't pay for classes, materials, or enrollment. That is true. It is tuition free. But you do pay a small assessment fee per course. So it's $120 for undergrad course and about $240 for graduate courses. So while it's not 100% cost free, it's a tiny, tiny fraction if you were to compare that to traditional universities, which is why I wanted to include it. Well, what degrees can you get? You can get a computer science, health science, business administration, and education, plus an MBA and master's in education. And guess what? The school is accredited in the United States through DEAC, and it partners with institutions like NYU, UC Berkeley, and Microsoft. Let's make it real. So let's imagine that you're a 19-year-old recent grad who wants to go into computer science but can't afford $50,000 a year at a private university. With UO People, you could finish a 4-year degree for less than the cost of one semester at most schools. Or picture being in your 50s, 40s, 30s, 60s, stuck in a career that's disappearing. You can go back to school without quitting your job or drowning in debt. In fact, some students work full time while completing their degree because the courses are entirely online and flexible. And there you have it, 10 free, 1 semi-free AI certification and degree programs that you can start today, no matter your age, your career stage, or your budget. So let's do a quick recap. We talked about the University of Maryland AI and career empowerment, practical, mid-career focused. We talked about IBM SkillsBuild, flexible courses and digital badges for all learners. We talked about elements of AI, beginner friendly, 1 million plus learners worldwide. We talked about HarvardX, advanced, rigorous, free to audit, serious credibility. We talked about great learning, short, flexible courses perfect for busy lives. We talked about Boise State Seniors AI program, built for older adults, practical, accessible. We talked about AARP Senior Planet AI workshops, live supportive classes that fight ageism on the spot. We talked about Google Cloud Skill Boost, fast badges that get you noticed by recruiters. We talked about WorldQuant University, fully accredited, tuition-free graduate level programs. And finally, we talked about University of the People, tuition-free bachelor's and master's degree, but you do pay that access fee or assessment fee, I think it's called. But $140 per course is undergrad or $240 graduate. I think that's really, really cheap, which is why I included it, though not completely free. Now, here's the bottom line. The future isn't waiting for us. Jobs are changing fast, and whether you're 20, 40, 60, the key is to show you're willing to keep learning, be a lifetime learner. These programs aren't just about new skills, they're about sending a message. I'm not being left behind. And here's my gift to you. I have put together a free downloadable PDF guide with direct links to every program we talked about today. That way, you don't have to scramble to remember names or websites. Just download it, pick one, and start. Go. See what it's about. But I need your help too. If this episode gave you value, if it lit fire underneath you, here's what I'm asking. Just hit that like button. It's free and it tells the algorithm to push this episode out so many more people can have the opportunity to see it. Leave feedback, comment, tell me which program you're most excited to try, or share your fears about the job market. I read every single one. And share this episode with a friend, coworker, parent, even your teenager, because the truth is, the more of us who learn these skills, the stronger we are all together. We're in a world together where AI can feel overwhelming, even scary, but knowledge is power, and access to that knowledge is finally free. The best time to start learning AI was yesterday. The second best time, it's right now. So don't wait. Pick a program, take a step, prove to yourself that the future isn't something happening to you. It's something you're ready for. Thanks for spending this time with me today. Don't forget to grab the free PDF in the show notes. And until next episode, take care of your mind, body, and soul.